You are welcome back to my channel. I'm Cyrus and this is Tuntum Network. Be gracious to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment to support us grow. Today's episode is again about Nigeria, and I hate to do this, but I have to speak on it because of the damage this story is about. And many people who watch my episodes confuse my concern for Nigeria as hatred, and I get shocked all the time, especially when they don't get to even watch the full episode. Listen, I have too many friends from my days in high school to studying in Malaysia with Nigerians whom I care so much about, and we've kept contacts and share ideas from time to time. And there are certain concerns that's just mind-boggling, ladies and gentlemen, needs international attention to hopefully receive the requisite solutions. Meanwhile, you care more about the caption on this episode than the details of it. I feel you are very, very selfish and unsympathetic. And I say that about you because you don't care about what happens to other people so long as it doesn't happen to you. That's what I feel about you. Because if you did, you join forces with me to amplify the cry to end this situation. Have you followed up on the random kidnappings for ransom happening in Abuja lately? Do you care to question your local and federal government where the abductees are and why the security detail of Nigeria isn't fighting against it? It's happening to locals and foreigners, including expatriates, aid workers, and tourists. And all you care about is that some Ghanaian YouTuber spoke about it on the internet. Really? You need to get a life, as a matter of fact, because the world doesn't rotate around you and your feelings. Criminal gangs and militant groups are hijacking buses and cars at whatever time of the day, calling their families for ransom. How about saying something to your government? How do you live in a country where a known group of people make it their business to engage in such a criminal activity and everybody is quiet because it hasn't reached their doorstep yet? Trust me, it's coming to you. You think you live in Lagos and so it's far and it's safe. You are funny. If you understood the motive behind those kidnappings and the kidnappers and the trajectory these bandits are on, you will know that sooner than later, something ought to be done about this. It used to be politically motivated, but now it's politics, it's religious, it's financial, and it's a vendetta base. It's targeted at the wealthy, the poor, the young, the old, mothers and children. Nobody is exempted at this point, and it's taking on new faces and direction every day. In the last 3 years, Abuja has recorded 50 kidnapping cases, which involved over 200 people, many of which happened on the Abuja-Kaduna road. 5 students and a male warden were abducted and murdered in 2021, and we are told of the arrest made of the perpetrators. You need to watch the video of what happened and when the police paraded the suspect before the media and the weapons these people wielded. It's crazy. There are just too many questions to ask at this point from that scene alone. In other places, we are told the kidnappers were dressed in military uniforms with pickup trucks and sophisticated weapons. Other times, they come in as herdsmen, but carried weapons under their long apparels. Just this past March of this year, 287 school children were kidnapped by gunmen who are threatening to kill them if not given 1 billion naira as ransom. That is about 722,000 naira. How can this be? Where is the president, Tinubu? Where is the media in Nigeria, the traditional media and social media and all? I believe this one story alone should be taken seriously and be talked about all the time. Can't you see it's becoming an enterprise for these bandits? Can't you see the audacity with which they walk into schools and take people? Can't you see the weapons they wield? Can't you see it will eventually collapse all the schools in the northern part of Nigeria? Why can't you see these? Or are you happy it's happening so long as it's not happening to you? Or it's happening to a particular government to make them unpopular? I mean, I try to process this anyway and I still can't make sense of it. Such a great country like Nigeria, whose people are quick to defend their country on the internet, which is the right thing to do, but are slow to speak on real issues that really matters. This gives you a bad name, as a matter of fact. There is no way around it. When people watch the stories on Al Jazeera and the rest of the other international media channels, they walk away with this perception. This should be your concern, ladies and gentlemen. There was the NSARS campaign when it was needed, and I loved how celebrities and popular people all over the country got involved. I think the kidnappings time is equally needed at this time, right now. How can a whole train be stopped and the people kidnapped? A train. This happened on the Abuja-Kaduna railway line. Insecurity is everywhere in the world now. Everybody knows that. We all hear it and sometimes we experience it. But this level in Nigeria is an epidemic. It's a national security crisis. The kidnappers just don't care anymore. They've gone all out and are taking anybody for any ransom they can get. How can this continue? Something needs to be done now, or else one day, and I pray God forbids that day never come. But if this continues, one day Africa will wake up to the mother of all the kidnapping incidents that will shape the entire continent. Great countries deal with great problems. We get that. Nigeria, this is your problem to deal with. It's gone too far. It's time to face the problem head on. I remember when on 1st February this year, 2 Catholic priests were abducted, Father Jude and Kenneth. What happened to that issue? Were they let go? Can anybody who knows the story share with us how it ended? Last year, more than 10 medical doctors were kidnapped in Enugu State. How did that one also end? So that leaves me with the question of who can they abduct? So long as they can monetize your abduction, they will take you. And the 3 police officers who were arrested for kidnappings in the River State this year, I think around February of this year, what happened to that case? Have they been prosecuted and sentenced? What happened? The moment it happens, we hear it. And surprisingly, the abduction rate for politicians have rather gone down. The politicians are not being abducted that much. They've taken their kids and families outside the danger spots and outside the country. They've built gated estates and communities for themselves with maximum security at the checkpoints. They live in a totally different reality from the regular people. They know how to tackle this matter, but won't. They use it from time to time when it's relevant to their parochial politics. How convenient. The ordinary person cannot travel at a certain time to certain places on certain days, and they don't care. The tourism industry in Nigeria is crawling on its back. One few years ago, they were projected to hit $10 billion in revenue by the end of 2030. You can just know without actually going there that something is very wrong with Nigeria. And the same thing is wrong with many African countries. Talk of Somalia and Burundi and Sudan and Eritrea. It's same stories. Leadership has broken down. Priorities of leaders are on the wrong direction. So don't waste your energy fighting my take on this issue. Use that energy to create more awareness and force the hand of your government, whether federal or national, to fight against these crimes. Elect good leaders and be sure to demand accountability, ladies and gentlemen. That should be your focus. I'm only the reporter. It's like what I said in a TikTok episode to the vice president of Ghana who is competing to become president. I told him, don't worry about the low-hanging fruits. Focus on the real ones up there that needs the attention. May God help us all. My prayers goes to God to protect those who have been taken and their families. Thank you for taking time once again to watch today's episode. Be kind to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. I'll come your way again soon. God bless you and stay safe. It's bye-bye for now.